There are black clouds of God's wrath hanging directly over your head. You think God is sending you a tortured message by having a dumb dog with stupid cheeks?
But the creatures
Have you stood upon a great tied a rope around your neck? The garbage. That red necklace. Nothing to take hold
I
of.
labor in my
All
mind.
preserves your mind is labor. That's true. What do you want? Dog and sheep story. Unobliged forbearance. That God himself holds.
My story.
Once upon a time, while I was walking, God is not in the least bound by any promise to hold you up. While I was walking upon the moors, I spotted at a distance a shepherd. The devil is waiting. Hell is gaping for you. The flames gather and flash about you, and would fain lay hold on you and swallow you up.
Here we go again.
Thinking.
Delusional.
Creating.
He's writing a poem about a couch.
He can't think with all your yammering.
You're his favorite. I'm softer.
Hardly.
I am.
Not on the inside.
There, it counts.
I'm hungry.
You left a pile of pellets just outside the door.
Unlike you, I don't eat my own poos.
Since when?
Since I got refined.
When was this?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
I'm in the mood for some corn, Poppy.
Wrong season.
I know. That's why I want it so bad.
You know, there's a whole garden of human food suitable for your proclivities just outside the door.
Evil!
It's a worthwhile task.
Evil.
Thou knowest my praise of nature most sincere, and that my raptures are not conjure up to serve the poetic pomp, but genuine.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you.
Too many words and way too much pomp.
Praise of nature.
Speaking of nature.
Oh, don't start with that.
That Mary sure is a fine nature.
You're a hare.
And?
As fine as cousin Theo, more sweet.
Shame about Theo.
Cousin Theo.
Father was, of course, correct.
Human nonsense. Mating with your cousin is as natural as it gets. It's not like she was your offspring or your sibling.
Writing away as usual.
Ah, Mary, good afternoon. I've been trying to write, but found nothing but blocks in my way.
I'm making your favorite dinner.
Pie and mash?
Meatloaf and cornbread.
One must keep their energy up.
Buttons?
Seeds.
They look like wooden buttons.
Seeds.
What kind of seeds?
Tree seeds.
Is it a secret?
Why are you so curious?
What kind of tree?
Strychnine nux vomica.
That clears it up.
It's from the strychnine tree.
Why do you have these?
Medicinal purposes.
Strychnine kills rats.
And other things. It's part of my collection of nature's terrors. Like my black headsbane, my belladonna, my devil's snare. It's an interest.
What are you trying to write?
Something about the garden and the sofa.
I saw one on a hike once. It was disgusting.
The garden and sofa of good and evil.
Book or movie?
It's difficult to explain. I don't have the words.
Maybe you should try something else.
As St. Francis said, he who works with his hand, his head, and his heart is an artist.
I don't know how you can sit out here. It's so hot and sweaty.
I'm a condemned man. I'm a good man. Right?
Of course.
I was always happy about the accident. Shh, don't tell. I was a bad boy, evil. True evil.
Which accident?
Oh, no, you mustn't tell. You and I, we live. Mary, my two Marys. What?
Is that a flea? Oh, I hate fleas. Shiny bloodsuckers.
I don't have fleas.
No, of course not. I'm gonna go take a shower. Dinner will be ready soon, so come get cleaned up.
Remember what the good book says about unequal yoking.
You shall not plow with an ox and a donkey together.
The other good book.
For what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness?
That's the one. You get a prize.
But why?
The dark one went in to wash off her fleas.
You shouldn't say things like that. I like her.
You would.
What fellowship has light with darkness?
He's getting inspired.
You're welcome.
Here's Cooper.
Yes, right. Sorry.
It's an abomination to be cavorting with God's lesser creatures.
Yes, quite right. They give me comfort.
Precisely.
John, I was just thinking of 2 Corinthians 6:14.
In which Paul admonishes us to avoid association with the wicked or those who practice idolatry,
Yes.
as in seeking comfort from God's lesser creatures.
Well,
Clear your mind, brother. We've work to do.
hymns.
Indeed.
I was thinking of the garden.
Eden or Gethsemane?
The idea of it. The idea of the garden in general.
2 Adams, 2 gardens. Why?
God is in nature.
And what does nature tell you?
That chaos is the chief ruler of all things.
Chaos.
When I look at nature, I don't see order. I see chaos. If God is in nature, well then...
Trees grow skyward.
And they also spread across the ground like wooden octopuses.
There are patterns in the leaves.
Yes, but each unique and pockmarked, like faces in a crowd.
Sun rises every morning.
Rabbits eat their young. Everything rots. Storm lays waste to trees and houses.
And bring flowers.
Study the bark of a tree, the billow of a cloud, the whirl of water, a mole's tunnel, the wandering path of a snail's journey. Chaos. Even the seasons, one leads into the other and then the other again. One day it is summer, and then it is winter, and the next it is summer again.
You make no sense.
Neither does nature. It speaks chaos. It is a mirror to God. Many times.
The princess who enslaved me kept me tied to a stake that was driven deep into the hard earth at my pen. But the rains came, and I wiggled and wiggled the stake until I was able to pull it like a bad tooth. I then found a weakness in the pen, and from there ran into the dark forest until I fell asleep with exhaustion. When I woke up in the morning, I was in a beautiful garden. This is Eden, I thought.
God saved you.
God was not with me yet. I remember that garden. It was lush with ferns, overhanging limbs, giant trees, great leaves of plants I can't begin to describe, and all manner of marvelous flying things. But it also contained biting insects, crawling vermin, howling unseen creatures, and snakes. Snakes twisting their way through the tangled garden floor and in the canopy of trees, at times hidden, at times seen. My awe turned quickly to fear. Fear, soul-splitting fear. I soon made my way to the coast, and from there begged my way onto a ship bound for home.
Where you were made the slave ship captain.
The master of the African, yes, and a minister. For God had spared me in the storm as I returned from my enslavement. Standing on the quarter, I preached of God's redemptive power as captives were stuffed like logs into the stinking depths of the cargo holds for a 4 weeks long voyage to the colonies.
Before your enlightenment.
Many of them died. Many of them tried to die. I was good in my beliefs, but evil in my acts. Just like nature. Beautiful in one way, deadly in others.
Chaotic.
And beautiful symmetry. We're violent creatures, born in it, die in it, redeemed by it, washed in blood.
Sis said you wanted your food here.
Ah, and as you said, chaos. Your wife has brought you supper.
Where do you want me to put it?
Here. John and I were just discussing his adventures.
You were?
Yes, he was telling me of the garden
As you often do.
and his time as a slave.
How are you feeling today?
I'm fine. Just fine. Just writing and...
That's nice. It's beautiful here.
Now it is.
Any dizziness today?
No, nothing like that.
Good, good. Do you think you'll be up for church this Sunday?
We'll see.
Well, I don't want to disturb you, so
No, you're not disturbing me.
you should eat your dinner. It'll get cold.
But it's... Did he leave?
He's gone.
I'll eat his then, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Eat with me.
I have already eaten.
We should go on a picnic.
We should.
I remember us talking about going on a picnic and walking in the winter wood.
That was a long time ago. There's no winter here.
I didn't know you then.
I feel like I've known you all my life.
Seems like it. I was tormented then. Remember the red line?
I'm not sure.
The mark. Here. I remember thinking it was a sign from God reminding me that I should die.
Oh, you have a new plant.
Plants inspire me.
That's sweet.
Do you have any knitting needles?
Taking up knitting?
Yes. Well, I was thinking about writing something about...
Knitting.
knitting needles.
I'll go get some for you, and by the time I come back, you'll have finished your meal and I'll take your plate.
I'd bet you'd like to knit her a time or two.
Tiny!
What? I'm only stating the obvious.
She is, Puss. It is obvious I have lust in my heart.
As I was saying.
Nonetheless, it's crass and unnecessary. And, well, it's sinful.
It is sinful.
All the more fun, am I right?
And she's married to a friend.
Married to a preacher.
From what I hear, he's no saint.
And some of us learn from our mistakes.
Shame about Cousin Theodora.
Bad Tiny!
Where are you, William Cooper?
Go away.
You belong in hell.
Not my time.
Your foot shall slide in due time.
Why have you come?
To take out the garbage Flush the toilet. You are suspended above the pit by a single spider's thread that God himself holds between just 2 fingers. And God is not in the least bound by any promise to hold you up one moment. The devil is waiting for you. Hell is gaping for you. The flames gather and flash about you and would fain lay hold on you and swallow you up. The fire pent up in your own heart is struggling to break out, and you have no interest in any mediator. There are no means within reach that can be any security to you. In short, you have no refuge, nothing to take hold of. All that preserves you every moment is the mere arbitrary will, an uncovenanted, unobliged forbearance of an incensed God.
How can a devil quote a preacher and not get struck to hell?
Tell me the story of the dog and the sheep.
My story,
Yes,
about the creatures that God showed me.
if you say so.
I'm very busy.
Your labors are quite unnoticeable.
I labor in my mind.
Your mind is labored, that's true.
It's time for bed.
The dog and the sheep story.
Why are you so curious?
I'm making a point.
With my story?
Once upon a time, while I was walking upon the moors,
I won't do it.
I spotted at a distance a shepherd tending his flock. When all of a sudden,
You tell it then.
it happened to you.
You know it so well.
When all of a sudden, the shepherd's dog snatches a sheep by the wool of its neck and runs.
Down the hill, towards me. Sheep in its mouth. I think, is the dog going to kill the sheep?
And then,
And then it runs to a great precipice. I think it's surely going to toss the poor creature in to be dashed to 1,000 bits. But it stops, lowers the sheep down, bows its head, and stares at it right in the eye.
dog against sheep, sheep against dog. What will happen? Who will blink first?
The sheep. It breaks the stare. It searches for an escape. And then, as the dog watches, circles around until it's far enough and trots back to the flock.
And the dog?
Trots back to the shepherd as if nothing were the matter.
And you believe this happened because?
God wants me to know he's always watching.
By nearly dropping you off a cliff.
By showing me that in an instant, he's always watching over me.
Hilarious.
What else could it be?
Could be nothing at all. Dogs do things, sometimes for no reason. You think God was sending you a tortured message by having a dumb dog do that to a stupid sheep?
He did.
Have you stood upon a great precipice?
I have to write.
Have you?
Yes.
Ever tied a rope around your neck?
No.
That red necklace.
I must have.
And what do you want to knit, William Cooper? A deal, perhaps?
Yes, but not yet.
You have something in your mind.
I'm not right for this world.
There are black clouds of God's wrath now hanging directly above your head, full of the dreadful storm.
The earth shall soon dissolve like snow, the sun forbear to shine, but God who called me here below will be forever mine.
How will the earth dissolve like snow if the sun no longer shines?
Metaphors.
No, logic. We would all freeze.
I have the song finished. Yes, when this flesh and heart shall fail, and mortal life shall cease, I shall possess within the veil a life of joy and peace. Well, what do you think?
It's not the way I learned it.
Learned it? Cooper, I'm just now writing it.
You know, I often think of my flesh and heart failing, and the earth dissolving like snow. And I think someone should write a hymn of that uplifting thought. Maybe me. But no, you've already done it, so no need.
Sarcasm is for children.
It's true. I think about it.
The notion is that when we leave this plane, we will enjoy everlasting joy in the presence of God.
Some will.
The choice is yours.
The choice has been made since before the beginning.
You can choose a different future.
God already knows. I'll do what he'll say I'll do.
I was a slave ship captain. I was proud of that station. I was godly, preaching to the rogue sailors on board my ship, warning them away from a life I had led. I was God's man, a slave ship captain. What wrong have you done compared to that, poet?
Spare.
Self-pity.
God knows.
And you know the mind of God.
About me? I
You're
do.
writing a book of sacred poems. You attend services every time I hold them.
And I'll continue to do those things. They give me comfort.
My torment.
That's to come. You see this foxglove?
Digitalis. Lovely.
This will wilt. It was a seed. This will wilt and die before winter comes. This is a seed, a plant, and rot all at the same time. I live, I die, and I'm in hell all at the same time.
Right, Cooper.
Can't argue with that logic.
Where are you, William Cooper?
In hell. In my word factory. In the garden. In hell.
There it is again. The old basket routine. He's overwhelmed. I think it's gone for good this time, Puss.
He'll be back.
In the meantime, we got free reign of the place.
He just has to escape into the basket sometimes.
Which is better? The garden in heaven or the garden in hell?
In heaven, of course.
I say the garden in hell.
But you're burning.
It has more delights.
How do you figure?
It has apples. I love apples.
What makes you think that there's
Grapes?
apples and grapes?
The sinful fruits.
The fruits of sin are sexual immorality, impurity, lustful pleasures, idolatry, sorcery, hostility, quarreling, jealousy, outbursts of anger, selfish ambition, dissension, division, envy, drunkenness, wild parties, and other sins like these.
Yes!
And the fruits of righteousness are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
Exactly. A very boring garden.
But these aren't edible fruits.
Don't be so sure.
Time to go.
Not again.
Poor thing.
You have to stop encouraging him.
He'll hear you.
He can't hear with the stupid basket, remember?
He says that.
His mind is
I
so...
don't encourage him.
in so many ways.
Well, what harm is it?
Cooper tried to kill himself 3 times. Have you ever asked him about his collection of nature's terrors?
No, I don't know what that is.
These are strychnine seeds. Lethal if consumed. The same goes for a whole collection of deadly plants he has scattered here and there around the yard.
I hadn't noticed.
Open your eyes!
We're not supposed to argue with them about their delusions.
Do you want to live your life as his widowed lover? Because I refuse to be some prissy preacher's wife.
We should take it off.
What trifles tease me now? They swarm like summer flies. With everything I do, they swim before my eyes.
From one of Cooper's hymns.
When darkness long has veiled my mind, and smiling day once more appears, then, my Redeemer, then I find the folly of my doubt and fears.
Another.
Let's take it off. I'm taking it.
My Redeemer,
How are you feeling?
you're such an inspiration.
Have you been writing?
John was just here. We were talking about
Sure it was John.
Oh, look, your flowers are here.
Dance with me.
Not right now. Later.
It's late.
Tell John I'm working. Tell him that I'll have something for him in the morning.
I will.
Tell him. I know he's in such a rush. Tell him I'll have something for him in the morning.
I'm sure he won't mind. Good things come to those who wait.
Tell him that. Good things come to
We're
those
going.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
The time is out, a joint accursed spite, that ever I was born to set it right.
You again.
What are you waiting for?
I have 2 Marys.
First you sing about being the world's greatest sinner, and now you imagine you have 2 women captured in your great romantic web.
If I'm so ordinary, why are you still here?
You have a job to do.
Write hymns, I know.
You know what you have to do.
Yes,
Hell grows impatient.
I've asked for the needles.
Ah, the needles.
Let's talk about the deal. I'd like to talk about my deal.
You have demands.
There's no deal without me getting something in return.
There is suffering in the great wide world. There are millions of people living with disease, war, famine, poverty, grief, loneliness, and none of them are aware that you even exist.
And I am unaware of them.
This is why you're going to hell.
No, God is why I'm going to hell.
He's known that since before the beginning.
He decided your eternal fate before he created all that is?
Yes. He's known everything since before creation.
What are your demands?
For ridding the world and our Lord of a great sinner like myself, I will plunge the needle into my heart.
12 times.
12 times.
One for each of the apostles. And besides, you might miss.
12 times. And for ridding the world of a sinner like myself, I would like an act of kindness in return.
Out with it?
No poets in limbo for me.
Some would say that's the easy part.
No endless agonizing, no drowning in the river of the lustful,
But that's so
or
fitting for you.
washed up on the shore of the wrathful.
There's more.
No extreme torment and pain, no wailing or lamenting, groaning or lamentations, or gnashing teeth, with every member full of raking torture, without any possibility of getting ease, without any possibility of moving God to pity with my cries, without any possibility of hiding myself from him, without any possibility of distracting my thoughts with pain.
So, not hell.
You can turn me into a toad or a serpent or an insect. I would rejoice in that. But not these torments for millions of ages. For when I have worn out the sun, moon, and stars with my groaning and lamentations, for not even one day or night's rest or 1 minute's ease, put me in a woeful place, alone, outside of God's all-knowing eye. Turn me into a flea, forever sucking the blood of a dying rat. But not the stretching, the filleting, the roasting, the...
You're asking for a lot.
I'm ridding the world of a great sinner.
The greatest.
Yes. True. But why should I live on and continue to trouble so many people and possibly lead somebody astray?
Do your work with the needle. Knit yourself a nice death, and then we'll see. I can't make any promises. I'll put in a good word.
That's not how deals work. I could sign it in my own blood. I've seen it before in a story. I'm still here. You missed.
What are you talking about?
I know you love me, and that's why you tried.
Why are you still here?
You and Mary, you stabbed me in the heart.
More poetry.
And it belongs to you both. And that's why you tried to...
Just stop.
I have to go to bed. I'm very tired.
We need to talk first.
You seem angry.
What do you think happened just now, before I came in here?
You and Mary stabbed me in the heart 12 times so that I would escape more torturous time in hell.
No one was here. No one stabbed you.
You can't do it. I have to do it myself. I must make the sacrifice.
I'm going to ask you some questions that might seem strange to you, but I want you to answer them as best as you can.
Fine.
What is your name?
What?
Will you answer?
William Cooper.
And what is your profession, William Cooper?
Poet. I write hymns with my friend Reverend John Newton. You know this.
What is John Newton's profession?
He is our minister. He was captain of a slave trade. Now he's an abolitionist. You know this very well.
Who am I?
What?
Who am I?
Mary. Mary Unwin. Widow of the late Morley Unwin.
How did he die?
One Sunday morning, Reverend Unwin was riding to service and fell off of his horse. There he fractured the back of his skull and laid there until Thursday evening. That's when he died.
When was this?
The 28th of June, 1767. I remember everything about that day, and so do you.
You remember this. How did we spend our days after?
Morning prayer, hymns, worshipful service twice a day, and evening prayer.
And do you remember that?
It's locked in my memory.
Is Mount Ephraim locked away?
It's a blind man's ambition.
Remember the Sundays and Wednesdays? The congregation, the old people?
Twice a day, every day.
Remember the fingernail clippings? The stale perfume, the coughs, the sneezes, the smell of Brother McBriar's open wound, the sour note singing, the gossiping grannies, the old deacons.
What's this all about?
Remember screaming at us when we weren't perfect? How it would embarrass you when we would fall asleep to your long-winded sermons. How we couldn't act like the other children because we were also called to serve God. Remember your Sunday afternoon naps to the droning of sportscasters? The eating, but never cooking or cleaning. The sleeping, but never sharing any of the housework. Remember when I was a little girl? A trusting little girl who loved her daddy. Remember what happened in our room in the dark when my sister was asleep in her bed across the room. Remember your crying prayers where you'd offer at church, you'd lay your heart out bare to God, but really it was tears and wailing of guilt and fear. We all knew why you cried.
What are you doing?
And then the little sister came along. Too young at first, but not for long. No, she had to have night visits too. Remember the crying? Sorry. Daddy's bad. He can't do these bad things. He shouldn't do these bad things, but you can't tell. Can't ever tell. The devil will come and take you if you tell. Daddy knows he's seen him and he's a big scary monster and he comes for little girls that tell.
Stop it.
And the two sisters weren't enough, were they?
Please stop. You're hurting him.
Now comes the little church girl. All alone. Waiting for her mommy to come pick her up after Bible school.
Please stop. He's sick.
I'm sick of him hiding behind this... whatever this is. The poet thing, the fake British accent. We can't go on like this.
Mom would have wanted us to take care of him.
Mom is as much to blame as he is.
She's not. She was weak.
She knew. We've been over this. You know how I feel about it. I know that you want to live in your delusions just like him.
That's not fair.
Do you ever stop to look at yourself?
What do you mean?
Look at yourself. Look at where you are in your life and think about where you should be, where you could be, if not for him.
All the time?
Do something about it.
Easy for you to say? You come in here every year or two for a day or so and then leave off again and I'm left here and you ask how long are we going to keep doing this? I do this Every single day, I do this. We don't do this. I do this.
You know I can't stay here.
And so I have to.
I remember when you were a little girl. I'd take you for walks in the woods.
I remember.
Probably remember me telling you.
No, I remember. I've walked around since then, too.
You were so sweet. You loved everything, even bugs.
I don't like bugs anymore.
You used to curl up like a dying bug when you were scared.
I remember more than you think.
Maybe.
I do.
I hope you're able to forget some things, too.
Same as you. Probably.
Mom used to scold me for getting you dirty
She was a clean freak.
in her own world.
Maybe she needed an escape.
She left him. You. Me, everybody.
That wasn't out of guilt, that was depression.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
I've hated him since he started with you. Hated myself for letting him. Hated Mom for sticking her head in the sand, for worrying about what the church would think.
Those old ladies were constantly in everybody's business.
And then little Angela.
That was years ago. She's fine. I haven't heard from her in years.
And now this. What caused this? When did this start?
2 years now, isn't it?
What's the story there?
I'm not sure. Well, there was the whole court thing.
Maybe.
He called and said he retired and he sold everything. He needed help. Could I come? And so... And this is how it's been.
And we never really talk about it.
Look at him.
We should talk about us more.
I don't need to.
I think that you do.
I don't want to. I don't think I can. It's not your fault.
No, it's his fault. But nobody made him stop. Everybody kept quiet.
Nobody knew.
Judge not the Lord by feeble sense, but trust him for his grace. Behind a frowning providence, he hides a smiling face. God of mercy, God of grace, give us eyes to see your smiling face within the mystery, within the mystery. God of mercy, God of grace, give us eyes to see, eyes that see your smiling face within the mystery, within the mystery.
Can I ask you something about that song?
Yes.
I love it, but I had always wondered about the line, "Behind a frowning providence, he hides a smiling face."
Is it too unwieldy?
Why does God hide his smiling face behind a terrible frown?
To remind us that the torment of sin sends us to hell, and that is why we do good, isn't it?
Is it?
The frown is to remind us that sin is what we were born into, and it is through sin that we are condemned to hellfire, until it is washed away.
It scared me when I was little.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Is that what you see when you look at God? The frown?
I deserve his frown. I'll see it forevermore.
Is that why you tried to take your life?
Yes, we have a deal.
Remind me.
Not you and I, me and God.
How many times have you tried to take your life?
Twice by the rope, once by the needle, once by the dagger if you can count it, and once by pulling the long gun from the bush.
Why so many?
I'm not very good at it. Maybe it was all the bullying in school. The death of my cousin Theodora. Father not allowing us to marry. My expulsion from the House of Lords. That landed me in Dr. Colton's madhouse.
None of this...
Oh, and there was the brick that almost laid me out flat. That was God saying, hurry up and do it, or I'll do it for you.
And you remember all of this happening to you?
Like yesterday. God wants me dead. We have a deal. Do it myself, and I'll get special treatment. Logical, isn't it? If you're going to go to hell anyway, might as well get a deal for special treatment. God does that. Makes deals. He did that for your husband. Saved him from that shipwreck so you can go and spread the gospel.
Why are you so sure that you'll go to hell?
Lust. Like a lawless, relenting flood, impregnated with ooze and mud.
I want to talk about my father.
Oh, I remember him. He was a good man, a lot like my father.
You remember him?
Yes, very well. He was well respected by everyone, a pillar of the community.
My earliest memory of him was behind the pulpit, his voice booming around the room for everyone to hear. Even as a child, it was so strange to me that all these people cared about what he had to say. And it was strange to share my father with so many people. The man up there, in that special place with all those people silent before him, was the same one who poured milk in a glass for me, patted me on the head, tucked me into bed. I loved him and respected him as much as any child understands respect and love. I remember his arms being big tree trunks and his hands being pillows. He would hold me when I got hurt. I had a doll, a birthday gift. She was so beautiful. I wanted to be her. Not so much because she was beautiful, but more because she was never sad. She never felt anything. She always wore the same pleasant expression. Her eyes were always open, but she never saw anything bad. Nobody ever made her do things that she didn't want to do. My father wasn't all good. He would say pretty words in church, but ugly words at home. He loved the whole world at church, but at home he hated anybody who looked different or talked different. It was so confusing to me. I couldn't reconcile my father, the Baptist preacher, with my father, the racist. And I never found a way to put together my father, the parent, with my father, the abuser. I love my father. I remember a father.
I remember him as a good man. I remember a fine, good man.
Cooper!
John Newton.
You must settle this argument.
This devil here thinks he has the mind of God.
I am not the one here who's got the devil in him.
Laid out, shoulder to shoulder in the cargo hold, the stench of pitch and human excrement and dead flesh. Unable to move for hours in the day. Unable to breathe clean air for weeks. Torn from their homes to be sold as property.
I regret that. I've dedicated my life now to the abolishment of that dreadful practice.
Not enough.
It was a gentleman's profession in those days. We didn't understand it the way we do in today's enlightened climate.
Bullshit. These barbarians thinking they have enlightenment.
We learn.
Not enough.
I was enslaved myself, you know.
Well, the story is well known, well worn, overworn, irrelevant.
Still, I have some empathy.
What is the argument?
Quite right, yes. The argument. The demon here states that a word and an act are the same thing.
Not the same thing, the same effect.
Little difference.
A tremendous difference, imbecile.
Are we not the sum total of our actions?
Agreed, but our words are our actions.
Do people not say one thing and mean another?
They do.
Then is that not proof that actions are more powerful than words?
No.
Do you see the argument?
No.
What do we do with insects?
Exterminate them.
What do we do with parasites?
Obliterate them.
What do we do with vermin?
Eradicate them.
What do we do with thugs?
Imprison them.
What do we do with communists?
Destroy them.
What do we do with socialists?
Fear them.
What do we do with unbelievers?
Send them to hell.
What do we do with natives?
Convert them.
What do we do with aliens?
Send them back.
What do we do with the rioters?
Trample them.
What do we do with the elite?
Put them in their place.
What do we do with the crazy?
Lock them up in a madhouse.
What do we do with Muslims?
Send them to hell.
What do we do with Buddhists?
Send them to hell.
What do we do with Catholics?
Send them to hell.
What do we do with children?
Love them.
What do we do with children?
Love them.
What did he do with children?
Leave me alone!
He's louder these days. Poor thing. They've upset him somehow.
It's not difficult with this one. He's not the strongest cracker in the box.
We should cheer him up.
He's got the thing.
No matter. He'll hear us.
Are you sure?
We could try, or we could take it off.
Better leave it on.
Yeah. Let's see, we could sing a hymn.
We don't want to torture him.
Whatever. Let's recite his favorite poem.
Which one's his favorite?
I don't know.
Great plan.
I like Epitaph on a Hair.
Oh, you would.
It was very sweet.
Yeah, but it's about my death.
Still sweet. Let's do it.
Together?
Of course.
Lead on.
We'll each do a verse. Here lies whom hound did never pursue, nor swifter greyhound follow, whose foot ne'er tainted morning dew, nor ear heard huntsman's hollow.
Old Tiny, surliest of her kind, nursed with tender care, and who domestic bounds confined, was still a wild Jack Hare.
Though duly from my hand she took her pittance every night, she did it with a jealous look, and when she could would bite.
Her diet was of wheatened bread, and milk, and oats, and straw. Thistles or lettuces instead, with sand to scour her maw.
And her own poop.
That's not in the poem.
Continuing. On twigs of hawthorn she regaled, on pippin's russet peel, and when her juicy salads failed, sliced carrots pleased her well.
A turkey carpet was her lawn, whereon she loved to bound, to skip and gambol like a fawn, and swing her rump around.
I kept her for her humor's sake, for she would oft beguile my heart of thoughts that made it ache and force me to a smile.
But now, beneath this walnut shade, lays her long, forever home, and waits in snug concealment laid, till gentler puss shall come.
She, still more aged, feels the shocks of which no care can save. Partner once of Tiny's box must soon partake her grave.
Nicely done.
Oh.
But nothing from him.
Oh.
What's with the OOs?
That last part was about me.
Just realizing that after all these years?
Suppose so.
You have it memorized.
Yeah, but you know how poetry can be.
This one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but... Oh.
Oh, here we go with the O's.
Why didn't he write one about me? And is that where my body ended up? On top of your rotten carcass?
Peas in a pod.
Oh.
You're the one who wanted to recite it.
It was a bad idea.
What do we do with this one?
Poor thing.
We should slap him around.
That is a terrible idea.
A good slap might do him some good. Hey you, basket case!
Shh.
Wake up in there!
Stop, you're going to hurt him.
How?
You're going to hurt his feelings.
What's he doing in there?
I think he thinks.
Thinks. What do you think he thinks about?
His life choices?
Ah, those.
He's as fragile as dried leaves.
Thin ice.
Snowflakes.
Spider's web.
Now, there you go. You've made him think about hell again.
And he should.
Don't say that. Hell is a bad place.
The bad place.
The very bad place.
I'm hungry.
You don't know what made you do the things that you did. Well, you do know about your desires, but where did those desires come from? Did God curse you with them so that you'd make the choices that would condemn you to hell? Why did your body need to do what it did? Why were you so powerless to stop? You're a good man, but you've done horrible things. You're a smart man, but you've done stupid things. You've preached love, but you've lived hate. And now look at you, standing there with a basket over your head, listening to a dead hare. A talking dead hare. a dead hare whose body was dumped in a hole on top of a rotting carcass without another word. No poem for me. The sweet one.
Oh, look. Someone's let the cat out of the bag.
I remember something.
I heard.
Baptist.
Good old John the Baptist. This is a cat of 9 tails. 9 because cats have 9 lives. Let's see how many lives you have left.
Why are you hitting me?
To remind you.
What am I forgetting?
Everything.
I'm trying to remember.
Remember the Senegambian people.
Stacked, shackled, humiliated, stolen, kicked,
Remember the Gambian people.
raped, licked, stolen, humiliated.
Remember the people of the Bight of Biafra.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
Where was God?
He turned his back on us, abandoned us because he could not bear to watch his creation treating his creation so terribly. Or he was present all along and did nothing to intervene. He wanted us to kill off the infidels.
That can't be true.
It's everywhere today. In the speeches, in the marches, in the wires, in the air. It's everywhere. Even in your own blood.
It wasn't me.
But when you sermonize to your snowy congregation about liberty, independence, and responsibility, it was.
And when you pontificated about God's design for man in a room half full of women, it was.
And when you preached about becoming a godly mother, it was.
And when you spout off about praying for the afflicted, it was.
And when you spit out the words about the greatest love, it was.
What was the greatest love, Cooper? Love of the little children? Suffer unto me, the little children.
Deep wounded souls, trying to feel thy touch. No, wait, I have it backwards. Deep wounded souls, something, such and such.
Madness is a sign of moral decay.
I won't listen to you.
I am the voice of God.
Hatred and vengeance, my eternal portion, scarce can endure delay of execution. Wait with impatient readiness to seize my soul in a moment. Damned below Judas, more abhorred than he was, who for a few pence sold his holy master. Man disavows, and deity disowns me. Hell might afford my miseries a shelter, therefore hell keeps her ever hungry mouth all bolted against me. Hard lot, encompassed with 1,000 dangers, weary, faint, trembling with 1,000 terrors. I, fed with judgment in a fleshy tomb, am buried above ground.
Time for an astronomy lesson. Lesson number 1. There is no center of the universe. Lesson number 2. Therefore, you are not the center of the universe. Your 9 lives are up. Are you ready to go to hell?
No voice divine the storm allayed, no light perpetuous shone. When snatched from all effectual aid, we perished, each alone. But I beneath a rougher sea, and whelmed in deeper gulfs than he.
you're still awake.
Afraid to sleep.
Bad dreams?
You could call them that.
Tell me about them. Sometimes it helps to get them off of your chest.
You've always been a comfort to me. John, too. He's a stern one, a man of conviction. I was locked in a cramped, filthy cage. A cage too small to stand or even lay down. A rat was clinging to the edge of the cage, trying to get at me. It was screaming, clawing at me. At first it was a rat-like screech, but then it turned into words. Actum est de te periisti. Do you remember your Latin?
No, it's been too long.
Actum est de te periisti. It is all over with thee. Thou hast perished. While clinging to the edge of a cage, trying to tear at me.
That's a terrible nightmare.
What made it a nightmare is that I wasn't asleep.
You must have been.
I wasn't awake either. Somewhere in between.
I'm so sorry.
I want you to know something. Do you remember Susanna?
I don't believe so.
Of course you do. Mary's daughter, Susanna. Do you remember when she left that summer? You know I've always been awkward around the fairer sex, but I wanted you to know that I wanted you to hear from me that I didn't want you to think that I had anything to do with that. I know how easy it is to believe such a tawdry rumor.
Oh, of course. So the rat is the rumor and its curse is...
It wasn't a curse. It was a prophecy. My story has nothing to do with a vision.
Could it be, though, that it comes out of guilt?
No guilt. I have nothing. I did nothing. The daughter, her mother, Mary, she left. I did nothing to them. I don't know why. She's how old now? A young woman? I just wanted you to know.
Have you mentioned any of this to Mary?
No need. She's Mary's daughter. She knows her heart.
Well, it could still be good to talk about it, don't you think?
No need.
Well, Sunday's coming up. You can go to church and pray on it then.
Thy saints are comforted, I know, and love thy house of prayer. I therefore go where others go, but find no comfort there.
Lust, like a lawless, headstrong flood, impregnated with ooze and mud. Me howling winds drive devious, tempest-tossed, sails ripped, seams opening wide, and compass lost. And day by day, some current's thwarting force sets us more distant for a prosperous course. No voice divine the storm allayed, no light propitious shone. When set from all effectual aid, we perished, each alone. But I beneath the rougher sea, and whelmed in deeper gulfs than he.
Good morning!
What?
It is time to get to work.
To sleep. It's almost nighttime.
He needs a bewilderment.
That would be you.
I am the best. Let's get back on the assembly line. We have a quota to make. Words have to be shipped out by tomorrow's deadline.
What's with the factory metaphor? It's dumb. Real dumb.
He once called this little writing hut his verse manufactory. So
Clever. Real clever. And you think this is going to snap him out of it?
I'll start us off with a word. Thy.
Great word. Thigh. Rhymes with I, sigh, why, cry, I, die, goodbye.
Maybe more than one word. How about a whole line? Thy needle's once a shining store.
Why do you have to work so hard to understand poetry?
Labor is divine.
But I don't want to work at poems. I like music. It's easy. And you can't dance to a poem.
You can't dance to music. Maybe 2 lines this time. For my sake restless heretofore, now rust disust and shine no more.
My Mary.
Contact! It's working! But well thou playest the housewife's part, and all thy threads with magic art have wound themselves about this heart.
My Mary.
We did it!
No change.
Now hast thou but one bare hour to live, and then thou must be damned perpetually.
What do you remember of this life?
Pain, frustration, loneliness.
There was more.
My Mary.
No, not that life. This life. Do you remember anything of this life?
The ibis, alligators. Manatees. Lizards of so many kinds in so many places. Sand cranes and rosette spoonbills. Hot days. Isolation. Untouchable history. Decay. So much decay. This was never a paradise.
Nothing like England, is it?
No, nothing like England. God left this place long ago.
Reality is setting in.
William Cooper, the day of reckoning is upon you. I've come to drag your soul to hell.
If you're gonna drag me down to hell, then get on with it.
Well, there is a matter that requires your attention.
I haven't chosen the instrument.
Needle,
What if I miss a second time?
rifle,
What if I miss?
hanging,
Too gruesome. Think of those who might find me. Too cruel.
poison.
Here we are in your little room, just up the bank from a river, full of muck and ooze, of runoff, of sewage, of things living and dead. You've used that river to talk about the uncontrollable force of your lust. You've compared its floods to your need to have the thing you want. Here we are, just down the river from what was once your church. Here we are in the swamp and all that comes with it. Here you are being stretched in torture for your actions. Here I am thinking about crime and punishment. Does the punishment ever fit the crime in the eyes of the victim? I'll never know your fitting punishment.
I guess I'll leave that up to God, or to the devil, as the case may be. When you're on thin land, surrounded by water, you feel connected to the world around you, like you could hop in a little boat and go anywhere.
Moves in a mysterious way. His wonders to perform. He plants his footsteps in the sea and rides upon the storm. And hides his smiling face, hides his smiling